Welcome, everyone. I'm your favorite kosher astrologer life coach. Thank you all for being here. Um, it occurred to me that you guys don't actually know the depth of what it is I do. So I wanted to explain not just kosher astrology, but kosher astrology life coaching to be specific. Um, so I'm going to dive into it a little bit and make sure that I have an opportunity to share a little bit about my philosophy and how I work, why I do what I do. And to me, that's really significant. Um, so I want to make sure to, here we go. Let me light a match. Let me get the mood set. So while I'm doing this, feel free to write in the comments what I should call you and where you're watching from. If you know your sun mazel, feel free to put it in the chat. But remember, we are not our sun mazel. We are so much more than just our sun, to be very, very sure. We are made up of literal stardust. That's not hyperbole. That's literal. Hey, Sinbad. Hey, Liz. We are creatures that are made of atoms that have been around this universe since the moment Hashem decided to get started. And the atoms happen to be configured in the way that they are right now. But, we've been around a long time. And so I want to share with you my philosophy on kosher astrology life coaching because nobody else does what I do. I find it to be fascinating because you would think with as many life coaches as there are on planet Earth, this would be a booming business. And it's not, apparently. Like, it has occurred to no one at all to do this, in its totality. So that's bizarre. So let's dive in a little bit. I want to touch on several different things. I have a hard stop at 7, of course, because I have the 5th of 6 classes set to begin at 7 o'clock. That would be my Mazel and Mastery class. I'm super, super excited to be providing that. And so at 7 o'clock, those folks who have signed on for my incredible program, I will be going and joining them. So if you haven't already signed up for Mazel and Mastery, that may be something you want to look into for the next cohort because I love what I do. I'm extremely, extremely proud of what I do. And this class is really life-changing. Hey, Bear. Hey, Tori. Hi, Karen. Hey, Midlife. Welcome. I really should have gotten my Diet Pepsi, but I forgot. Of course I did. I am a little bit still waking up from my nap. So that may be the reason that you're seeing me with absolutely not a stitch of makeup on. But let's dive in. So first things first. When you see something like this, when you see the moon and the stars and the cosmos and all that good stuff, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? You're thinking, oh, that's very boring, hippy dippy woo woo. Ooh, I'm a Gemini. I'm a Scorpion. Yeah, that's not at all the reality. When we talk about the nature of what I do in kosher astrology life coaching, we're talking about a system of clarity that has been around for eons, and not everyone understands it. Moreover, people come to me and pay a ton of money for readings and for coaching because I've been able to understand the system in a way that other people don't. So, are there other astrologers out there? Yeah. Are there other life coaches out there? Yeah. Are there any kosher astrologer life coaches in the world? Nope, not a one. And that matters. I have been doing this, ladies and gentlemen, for 30 years. My gut is rarely ever wrong. And that's something I promote to clients all the time, is your gut is always right. Assuming you've been practicing and training yourself to be prepared to listen to your gut properly, your gut is going to be right. It's really, really important to know that. So I've been doing this for 30 years. I decode people's soul map. I help them unlock their destiny. Hey, Mimi. Thank you for liking the live, everyone. Thanks for sharing, everybody. I appreciate it. I wanted to share a little bit about me. I wanted you guys to get a kind of an idea of who I am and what I do. And so, that's what I'm here to do tonight. So let's start at the beginning. When you have somebody come to you, like I do with my clients, and they are stuck, they're lonely, they're single, they hate their job, they hate where they live, they hate their family, there's some sort of crisis, there's some sort of drama. All they want in life is clarity, understanding. And they have looked at their astrology in the newspaper, or they've gone online. Hey, Madman, welcome. They don't know what the hell it means. So if you've heard of astrology and you're like, okay, big deal, so what? You're not alone. A lot of people feel that way. They're like, okay, big deal. Like, this is just a thing that people talk about. It means nothing. Well, for the most part, you're right. For most astrologers and most, if not all, mystical, spiritual life coaches, what they're doing is offering you service based on what their gut is telling them. Sometimes they're trained, sometimes they're not. I'm not like that. I mean, I've been trained and certified. I am a licensed certified life coach. I've been doing this 10 years. I got my certification from the Institute of Applied Psychology, or I'm sorry, the Academy of Applied Psychology in Edinburgh. And I've been coaching actively for 10 years. I've been coaching even before I knew I was a life coach for 15. And I've been practicing astrology for 30. I don't know a lot of people who combine with what I do. And that's significant. So welcome, Dee Dee. Welcome, Vinny. So let's talk a little bit about why this matters. People come to me, they're miserable, they don't know what to do, they feel like they're at the end of their rope, they're stuck. So what do I typically do? I pull the light out. I pull the veil off of their eyes. I show them with clarity why what they're doing isn't working for them and why they need to do different. I don't recommend you ever do more. I recommend you do different. That's how you unlock your destiny. You don't have to do more. You have to do different. And so when I work with people, both on one-on-one capacity in my private coaching sessions, as well as in my big group sessions, my Mazel and Mastery course, which Mimi's in, Tori's in, check the chat. They're going to know what I'm talking about. When I work with you, what we're doing is we're stripping away any illusion, thank you for the heart, thank you for the roses. We're stripping away any doubt and any illusion that you were put on this planet by accident. The number one thing my clients are lacking when they come to me is certainty. That's what they want. They want certainty. They want to know that they're not crazy. They want to know that they're on the right path, that they're doing the right thing. And most of the time, they don't even really know who they truly are Or if they do, they've been second guessing themselves for decades. It's really unfortunate. So I thought I would come in and share a little bit with you. Hey, Talal, about what my system is, because my system doesn't work the way other people's systems do. Specifically, if you've ever worked with a life coach, you've probably heard the phrase SMART goals, right? What the hell does SMART goals have to do with astrology? Nothing, right? You would think that they're not related in any way. Turns out that's not true. Turns out, if you pull your Mapat Mazal, your natal chart, through my system, the Mama Mazel system, which is a whole sign system, and you look at the chart through a Torah lens, you can not only figure out who you are, you can figure out how you're built to achieve the mission you were put on this rock to do. See, I've realized that one of the things I haven't done enough of is I haven't been spiritual enough. I haven't been esoteric enough. I haven't dived in. I haven't dived in enough to my deepest spiritual beliefs with all of you. And I really want to, because I think that I'm doing you a disservice by not. So here's what I mean. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The atoms that make up your body have never been assembled in this way, in this format, on this rock, in this place, in time, in space, in the history of time. Do you understand how significant that is? Do you understand how important that is? The elements, the atoms that make up who you are have never been where they are and manifested the way that they are in the history of time. Until now. Until you. And that means, hi, Teresa, welcome. Don't forget to like and share the live. That means that you were put on this rock for a reason. It means that you were put in this world. The planets were aligned specifically for your soul purpose, for your soul contracts, for your destiny, the moment you were born, and you have a purpose to serve, and you could be replaced, but you will never be duplicated. That's what happens when people come to me and they use the Mama Mazel system and I decode their soul map for them. Because when we decode your soul map, we are talking about unpacking the depth of who you are. And I don't think that we talk about that enough. Hi, Josephus, welcome. So for example, what if I told you that you're watching this live right now because you felt this distinct call, this distinct pull to be seen fully and completely by a force bigger than yourself? And what if I told you that I am acting as a channel to deliver this information to you? Would you be shocked? Would you be amazed? You should be shocked and amazed. At the end of the day, no one is going to save you but you. And if you really want to save yourself, if you really want to make something amazing of your life, you have got to take ownership of all of you. You have got to take full and complete, transparent ownership of who and what you are. You need to understand your fire. You need to understand your air. You need to understand your water. You need to understand your earth. You need to understand how your core essence, your sun, your Chama, influences your soul. You need to understand how your moon, your emotional processing systems, influence who you are. You need to understand how, hi Nick, welcome. You need to understand how your handshake to the world your first impression to others is actually one of the most powerful tools you have to change the world. Most people don't even believe that they have any personal power at all. And I'm here to tell you that you do. That's why they pay me the big bucks. That's why I do what I do. Because I have come to understand that it's not just my job, it's my purpose. My purpose is to use my voice. It's in my chart. It's to use my voice to help bring others to a place where they are understanding the depth of who they are. So, let me tell you a little bit about what I do. So, are Leo and Taurus a good match? Hi, Ronnie. Welcome. So, Nick, I love your question. I know that you're coming from a really great place in asking because you want to understand if you and your partner are going to make sense. But here's the issue. You've been lied to. You've been bamboozled. You've been told that all you need to know is the person's sun sign Leo and your sun sign Taurus, and you're done. And that cannot be farther from the truth. Are you just your left eye? Is that all you are? No. Are you just your right pinky toe? No. We are not just our sun signs. We are made of so much more than that. So the number one thing I recommend for my clients, once they've had a full reading from me, start learning the very basics of astrology. Start learning the very basics. Because on the surface, a Leo and a Taurus, well, a Leo is fire, a Taurus is earth. Would there be some conflict there? Yeah, there could be. Fire and earth don't always play well together, especially a Leo, which is a classic textbook fire creature. Leos are the firebrand. They are the representative, the ambassadors of fire. Yeah, fire burns earth and earth squashes fire. That's part of the issue, right? So if we were looking just on the surface, we would say, well, Leos are impetuous. They're strong leaders. They're loud. They like the applause. They love being in the spotlight. They want the attention. They have magnetism. They're strong. Tauruses are calm, quiet earth bodies, home bodies. They don't like tons of drama. They don't like tons of flair. They don't have a penchant for the dramatic. So are they going to mix well together? Maybe not. But you are not your sun sign. You are so much more than your sun sign. That's the reality. So what I teach people, especially my Jewish clients, because that's the community that I cater to, is when you were born, God, Hashem, our creator, Ribono Shel Olam, Ein Sof, the endless one, built this really beautiful love letter just for you. And in it is this unbelievable blueprint for how you're meant to conduct yourself in this world. That's your soul map. And I feel like it's a huge disservice that people don't understand their soul map from like day one. Like people should be raising their children, knowing their children's mazel to understand how to parent their children properly. It says that in the Vilna Gaon, one of the greatest Jewish sages of history, said that every man should parent his child according to his way. His way means his mazel, his astrology. Thank you for the roses, honey. So one of the big things that I do in my system when I coach people is I'm unpacking your soul map with you using a custom AI that I've built and the 30 years of experience that I've got to understand not just where is your sun, where is your moon, where is your rising. Hi, Anushka. Not just to understand where do they fall on your chart, but to understand where are the blessings from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in those positions. How does the bite, the house, influence those blessings? How does the mazel of that house influence those blessings? Someone who's a Leo and their Leo is in Beit Bet, the second house, is going to be very different from a Leo who's in Beit Yud, the 10th house. It's a very different Leo identity. A Leo who's in Beit Bet, the house of Parnassah and value, they literally believe themselves a Leo so strong, they self-identify as a Leo so strongly that they're actually going to believe that they bring value to this world through their magnetism, their leadership, their capacity to show people the right way. That's going to bring in their income. That's going to bring in their parnasa. But someone who's, Leo and Beit Yud, their Leo aspect is directly correlated to their career, not just their sense of value and how they bring value to the world, to their relationships, to their family, to their children, but specifically to their career, their public reputation. It's a different kind of Leo. Hey, Hannah. So we have to not only understand that we have a sun, moon, and rising, we have to understand that each of those brings blessings that are distinctly decided and divined for you from the moment you were born. That's your soul map. That's what that is. That's what that is. So it's important to understand that. The other thing that I do when I coach people don't get it necessarily until we get into it, is you're not going to be able to unlock your destiny until you figure out where your strengths and weaknesses are. And it's not just, oh, I have a Pisces Chiron. Like, that's lazy thinking. We don't do lazy thinking. It doesn't serve well. It doesn't give you what you need. Hi, Heather. Welcome. When I help people unlock their destiny, what I'm doing as a life coach is I'm saying, all right, well, we know that your sun, moon, and rising give you the core of who you are. They give you your essence. They give you your emotional processing system and who you believe yourself to be. And they give you a handshake to the world so that you can deal with life in the outside world. But I then take it and I show you how your elemental balance gives you the tools in your toolbox to tackle how you're going to live your life, how you're going to change the world. So many people come to me for coaching. They literally don't know how the hell to get from point A to point Z. And that's fine. That's why I get the big bucks. Like I'm fine doing that. I love life coaching. But what you're not getting is that you have this gorgeous soul map right here that tells you exactly what tools God gave you in your toolbox ready to go. And we look at, just like when we read Torah, we look at what's there and what's not there. So if you're like my son, for example, my third son, he has 0 air in his chart, none. He is not a born communicator on any level. He is mostly earth. He has like 2 stelliums. He has like a Capricorn stellium and a Taurus stellium. He is earth, 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 earth. Thank you so much, Nick Wynn. I appreciate you saying that, sweetheart. Hi, honey. Shavua tov, honey. But like I said, so my son's mazel is 9 placements of earth. He has a 5-point stellium in Capricorn, 4-point stellium in Taurus. Or as I say in Hebrew, 5-point stellium in in Gedi, and 4-point stellium in Shor, the bull. This kid is not a communicator. I mean, he communicates beautifully with me on a day-to-day. It's not like his mouth doesn't work. But when we talk about air, ruach, the power, the blessings of Rivka Imenu, we're talking about the voice. We're talking about speaking our ideas, expression, ruach hakodesh, bat kol, tefillah, shir hashirim, the capacity to sing, the capacity to pray. That's what we're talking about when we talk about air. Thinking things through, being analytical. That's what we're talking about. And my son, my third one, doesn't have any of it. No air for him. So God gives you this amazing soul map, this blueprint, And he says, okay, so now you have this blueprint for how you can tackle your life. I happen to take all the air out from this kid. So he's not so much with the thinking and the analyzing. So it's good to know that about yourself so that you can then move in a direction where you're surrounding yourself with people who are great thinkers, who are great analyzers, who are great strategists, so that they help you to strategize, so that you're not in a position where you're stuck. Like, you're great at actualizing stuff, but you're not great at actually like thinking it through. It's part of our tikkun, a perfect match for the soul. Absolutely, Nick Wynn. Absolutely. Part of the tikkun, when we say tikkun, we say repair. That tikkun literally means repairing this cosmic blow up that we had before the Big Bang, when all the kalim, the containers that hold the light of Hashem, shattered. So our personal tikkun, the best thing we can do for tikkun olam, to correct the world, is to know exactly who we are and how Hashem built us to be. If we can know exactly who we are, if we can know our soul map, if we can start unlocking our destiny, then we can start coming to a place where we know not only who we are, but we can start moving in the world in a way where we are living our sun, moon, and rising. We are living our truest identity. We are leveraging all the strength in our mazel, the strength in our elements. And we are mitaken, we are correcting, fixing the weakest elements in our chart, like air for my son, or me, Earth. Shavua tov shalchevet. Shavua tov, thank you for the roses, babe. We can do the tikkun by mitigating some of the negative side effects of a lack of an element. When an element in your mazel is lacking, first of all, it's not a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes. Secondly, it's a matter of this is lacking so that you can do the work to fill it up and replenish it. If it's been depleted, like in his chart, he has no air, he can mitigate that. We say, En Mazali Israel, we can rise above our mazel with tefillah, tzedakah, tshuva, and learning Torah. So he can, how does he add more air to his chart? He does it manually. He can learn the parsha of Rivka Imenu, the foremother that in my system, the Mama Mazel system, gives blessings of air, of analysis, of critical thinking, of thought, of expression, of laughter. He can give tzedakah. He can give tzedakah anytime to the Jewish community of Hebron. They maintain the Kever HaMachpelah, the cave of Machpelah in Hebron, where Rivka Imenu is buried. And Sarah and Abraham and Yaakov and Leah and Yitzchak and Rivka are all buried. You can give tzedakah. You can give tzedakah to organizations that help support thought, expression, community theater, young writers, Torah scholars, Talmud scholars. You can do tshuva. You can do true and deep returning to Hashem and learn Torah a little bit every day in the merit of Rivka Imenu. That's how you do a tikkun on your air. We have that ability. But like I said, when you decode your soul map with me and you get that full reading, you suddenly start to realize, oh, I'm actually designed to be this way. There's nothing wrong with me. Do you know the level of calm that you get in your gut when suddenly you're not worried that you're doing everything wrong, that you're actually doing everything right? Do you know the weight that's lifted off your shoulders? It's unsurpassed. So that's what I do when I coach people. We decode the soul map first, and then we look at their sun, moon, and rising, their Chama, Levana, and Mazal Ole, to understand who their core identity was designed to be. And then we look at their fire, earth, air, water, their elemental balance, so that we can start to understand how they can achieve their goals in life. And it seems, Maybe. Shalom, darling. I will talk to you later. Bye, Nick. Thank you for joining us on the live today. You know, that level of clarity and self-love and self-acceptance is just unsurpassed. Like you can't. Hi, Kadima. There's no way to pay for that kind of clarity and self-love. You know, I'm very proud to say every single reading I've ever done for a Mama Mazel reading for kosher astrology life coaching ends in crying. And I'm really proud to say that because it means that I've touched a nerve, that the people that I'm reading for truly understand that they're being given permission to be who they are. They're being given permission to exist. They're being given permission to truly embrace their destiny, like in a real way, like in a way that is something that they can be proud of. And that's what I really love to do. And on that note, I am actually going to go get ready for my Mazel and Mastery cohort with my 13 amazing students who've signed on to unpack their natal chart, to decode their soul map, to unlock their destiny. And we're going to start diving into how to combine your sun, moon, and rising, as well as your elemental balance, to give yourself these tools to conquer the world. So I'm going to go get ready for that amazing class. I'm so excited. If this interests you, I want you to know you can click on the orange heart at the top. You can become a fan. You can catch me when I'm live. I'm changing my hours because we hit the daylight savings, etc. Hi Bella, welcome. So my hours on live are going to shift a little bit because of daylight savings and, very short days. But you can become a super fan. I would love to have you subscribe. You get exclusive behind the scenes content, downloadable content, and more. And I would love to read for you. I really cannot state this enough. There are people right here in this live right now who know exactly what I'm talking about. I've read for them. They bursted into tears. It was like I've known them their whole life. And they're like, I didn't know that I was allowed to be this person. Yes, of course you're allowed to be this person. This is who you're meant to be. Hello. So please feel free to check out my profile. I would love to read for you. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Let's just say that when you work with me, you get permission to show up fully without judgment. And I mean, I'll judge you a little, but only for like silly things, like wearing orange lipstick. But other than that, I don't judge. But please know, I want to read for as many people as possible because I believe truly and fully if I can do my little job in my little corner of the universe by showing people that God designed them perfectly to fulfill their mission, and I can help as many people as possible love themselves and achieve their mission, then we will have Tikkun Olam and we can have Mashiach and we can stop being a world of war and we can live in peace. That's my belief. So that's me doing my little part on my little corner of this rock. And yes, I will be launching the next cohort bit. I'm toying with January. I have to actually look at the Mazel for the next 3 months and see when is a good launch date. I don't want to go too far past Tu B'Shvat, so we'll see. But I look forward to seeing you all again soon. And everyone who's joining for Mazel and Mastery, I will be opening the room very shortly. Feel free to jump in. We can kibitz. I can talk to you, see how your Shabbat was. Have an amazing week. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. Thank you for the diamonds. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Hannah and Kate and Tori and Mimi. Thank you, Talal. Thank you, Midlife. Thank you, Sinbet. Thank you, Liz. You guys are amazing. I love you. Let's get together soon.